hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality. While listening, you'll be exposed to inspiring, empowering, and unifying perspectives that I'm highly confident will yield stellar results in your life if you opt to try them on for size. Also, at optimistic.tv, we have officially begun releasing the first few episodes of our new late-night style, consciousness-elevating video variety talk show, Optimistic, which features live visionary art, soul share interviews, retreat guests here at the Mystic Manor, as well as live musical performances. I'm also super excited to announce that we are currently making plans to release the rest of Season 1 on my personal favorite online streaming service. So stay tuned to optimistic.tv to follow the unfolding development of this exciting Optimistic expansion, as we'll be posting more info and release dates there soon. And in the meantime, be sure to check out, of course, the first few episodes at optimistic.tv as well.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining Samantha and I today. And we thought that we would just talk about all the things that make us happy, that fill our hearts, that enliven our spirit, because that's what we want to talk about today. And that's what I think you all want to hear. So here we are.
Yeah, here we are. Here we go. Let's do it.
So this came up too because, it came up for me this morning, because I've been pretty stressed out lately. And I will admit that a part of that is I'm not doing my meditation that I am normally daily. It's my daily practice that I normally do. And that keeps me unstressed. Well, I haven't been doing it because I've been so busy, and I feel like shame on me. I know better. I know way better. I tell you guys about this all the time. And here I am doing the things that I know are not serving me. So I'm stressed, and I was thinking about all the things that help me not feel stressed. And that's a big one, meditation. But then the other things that make me feel good when I'm just in this kind of high emotional place, the biggest thing is nature and getting next to, for me, a water source, lots of green and running water, something that I can hear and listen to and just kind of melt in with. So if I can't do that, because I live in the desert, it's not that easy to get to. I have to kind of drive hours. It's possible, but I can go there in my mind, and I can just close my eyes and imagine myself sitting there next to the creek or the river or something. And that helps. And it makes me happy, for sure.
What about getting a little blow up swimming pool and putting your backyard with a hose and just...
I have one of those. I have a 2-year-old. Totally have one of those. And I have a regular swimming pool, like for big people, that we can get in, which I do get in every day because it's 110 lovely degrees, which I think adds to the stress. Like when you're hot, it makes you a little ornery, hot and angry and stressed out all kind of go together. Yeah. So summertime here is just a little challenging.
Yeah, I understand that. What you said about meditation, I feel it's so important. There's this beautiful quote: if you don't have 10 minutes to meditate, you need 20.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's so easy to be in our practices when things are going well, right? When everything is set up and flowing and structured, and we're just thriving in life. Yeah, it's easy to do the yoga and to eat well and to take time. But once things get hectic and crazy, it's like all the practices go out the door. But those are the times that we need them the most.
Yep.
And so it's so important to remember that they are actually tools to help you stay sane, centered, and grounded. And so, Erica, I am prescribing you from my little spiritual notepad here, prescribing you some meditation, because absolutely. with meditation, it really does. It just calms the mind. It calms the nervous system, brings you back down to your center, gets you grounded, and it helps you connect to your higher self. It helps you have the downloads on what you actually need and what's important to you versus what's not important to you, which normally there's so many things that we allow in our lives that aren't that important and that just, put the pressure on us that we don't necessarily need.
Right. Exactly. And yeah, I love getting in meditation and getting in touch with my higher self in that way. And it's funny because every time I go into that space, I get like a little scolding, like a nice, like grandmotherly scolding that's very loving. That's like, hey, thank you for being here today, but you need to be here every day. Like, this is not an option. You have to be here. And I'm stubborn and I like to do whatever I want to do, so I don't always listen. But it's important to listen and pay attention. I'm scolding myself right now because I know that that it is the best tool, because when you're doing this on a daily basis, when these stressors come in, they don't hit you as hard. Like, they don't get into your physical body and create that like hormonal activation from it. Right. Like that adrenaline and cortisol thing that goes on. Like, it's, when it's in your body like that, it doesn't feel good. But when you're meditating a lot, your body doesn't have to have that reaction. You can just mentally process it in a lot cooler, calmer way.
Absolutely. I know that there are things that in my life are non-negotiables for me feeling healthy, happy, and sane. Mm-hmm. I think probably the top 5 or 6, one is sleep. I know that I'm an 8-hour plus type of girl. And sleep is so important to me. If I'm not getting good sleep, I wake up and already my day is kind of wonky. So getting good night's sleep is super important. Next thing is having a morning routine. Even if it's simple, even if it's just wake up, have my morning matcha latte, go out, do 5 to 10 minutes of yoga, stretching, dancing, do some journaling, center myself, have breakfast, and then start my day. Not checking my cell phone, not going on the computer, not getting swept up in other people's plans or business or anything. Just me with myself in my little bubble of happiness and bliss. Huge non-negotiable. The other one is exercise. When I'm not exercising, I notice that I am mentally much less happy, much less centered, much less focused. And then followed by exercising is proper nutrition. If I'm not eating enough plant foods, I'm not feeling good, right? We have to remember that most of our brain chemicals are synthesized in the gut. And so if you're not eating well, you're not going to feel well. And then loved ones, like time with my loved ones, telling people how I feel about them, that I care, being with people that enrich my life. Like, these things are my feel-good places, my non-negotiables. And I need to have at least 4 of the 6 every day to really feel good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I miss my little morning practice. That was a non-negotiable thing for me for years. And for the past few months, I've really been off of it. And it really makes a humongous difference when you're not looking at your phone for the first couple hours in the morning, when you're sitting there quietly enjoying your warm cup of whatever it is and getting that meditation in, or getting that stretch or that exercise, a bike ride, whatever it is. It is life-changing. It is the best thing that we could do for ourselves. Every day, starting your morning like that, it sets the tone. Sets the tone not only for the day, but for your future. Because if you keep doing it, it just compounds on itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one of the cheapest therapies, as you already mentioned, is getting out into nature. Yeah. I myself as well have been going through a really challenging time over the past few weeks, and I made a commitment to go to the ocean every single day, or at least every other day, and I have been. And just going in, it's such a ceremonial experience to get into that. It is cold for me. I'm not going to lie. I like bathwater oceans. I like Hawaii ocean, but the water here is beautiful. And just having that cleansing, right? Allowing the water to wash over the top of my head, to cleanse my energy field, to reset my body, to get me back into that state of balance. And I feel like this cleansing, purification type of energy. And it literally just stops you, and it makes you be present. The big vast ocean and the beautiful sky and the sand, the trees, the birds chirping, like it's just, it connects you to who you really are.
Yeah. And for a lot of people it's water, and for other people maybe it's just the air. Maybe it's fire. Maybe it's lighting a fire at night and sitting by it and staring into it and just thinking and just sitting there in peace. all the elementals we're going to interact with differently or resonate with more. And whatever it is that resonates with you, that makes you feel good, develop a practice where you're putting that into your life more. And yeah, there's big changes that happen, because when you're feeling good like that, you're going to manifest. You're going to be in your integrity more, right? When you're happier, you are just a better person. So that all those things just kind of go with the territory. They flow with it.
Yeah. And if it's challenging, it's like, what's the one little thing you can do, right? I know we mentioned, like, I have my 6 or 10 non-negotiables, and you don't want to always start there. Like, you want to start with one little thing. Develop one positive habit, one thing that you can do. Maybe it's just your morning tea. And then maybe it's every day you go for a 10-minute walk outside. And then once that is a part of your routine, then you add in the next thing, then you add in the next thing, and they compound, right? You build upon one another so that it doesn't feel overwhelming. It's just these nice, gentle little additions that continuously amplify your life and your happiness.
Yeah. And I didn't mean for this show to be all about meditation, but that's just where my brain keeps going back to, is meditation. Because, really, it's like this daily practice every single day. It compounds and compounds and compounds. I personally believe that there is nothing better that we can possibly do for ourselves every day. And here's the thing. I say that to you guys and you're like, yeah, but it's really hard for me. And I have a hard time shutting off my mind. Well, yeah, so does everybody. And that's okay. You're not expected to sit down and shut off your brain. Like, that's not going to happen. I don't think Buddha did that, right? Like, the first time Buddha sat down to meditate, I'm sure it wasn't like, all right, clear slate. It took hours and hours and hours and hours of practice. So be patient with yourself. And instead of trying to shut your brain off, use your brain to visualize or think about good things, about positive energies. You can bring all of these energies in, all of these thoughts in, and actually use your brain so it's concentrating on something. It doesn't need to be shut off. It just wants to be in a good place for this. And the more you do that, then you get to a place where it's easier and easier for your brain to shut off, right? It's just about staying in that visualization place long enough, and then you can get there. But that takes practice. So be patient with yourself and don't not do it because you think you can't. You can. I promise you, you can. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And if you want to gamify it, a lot of people love the process of gamification. There's some really great apps that you can use. Like Headspace is a good app. There's also, what's that meditation app that I use? Insight Timer. That one's really good too. You can add your friends. You can gamify how long you do it and how many days consecutively you do. Or you can even do something really basic, like setting out like 5 jars. And you label each jar. Okay, this one's exercise, this one's meditation, this one's whatever. And then each time you do it, you give yourself like a token, or you put a dollar in or something. And you gamify it, and you see like, okay, well, at the end of the week, well, how much did I put in here? And how much did I put in here? And then maybe you buy yourself something really nice with the money that you have in the jars at the end of the year or something like that. There's always fun little ways that you can just turn it into a game and have more play and joy with the things that you're doing as well.
Totally. I love that. Reward yourself. Yeah, it does make it more fun because we're motivated more when we're having fun. And so when we make it a game and we make it fun, then yeah, it's definitely more enjoyable. I love that. I love those little tips and tools. They definitely are helpful.
Before we continue on with today's episode, I'd like to take a quick moment to tell you about our sponsor, Curable. Curable is an app that takes a different approach to helping people manage and alleviate their chronic pain. I know it's been hard to watch my own father, who I've always viewed as indestructible, become increasingly limited in his movements due to chronic knee pain and having to deal with the frustration of not knowing how to treat it effectively. Fortunately, modern neuroscience is illuminating more and more how chronic pain develops and worsens, Studies show that the brain and central nervous system play a much more significant role in chronic pain than we once thought. And by retraining the brain to process pain differently, we can reduce symptoms and gain more control. So if you're struggling with chronic pain, the Curable app can help you get your life back by guiding you through science-backed techniques designed to help you overcome fear of movement, symptoms, and never getting better. It also offers strategies that can help retrain your brain's response to pain and in many cases reduce the intensity and frequency of symptoms. Curable offers both a free and paid version of the app. If you use our link to sign up and get started with the free version, you'll get 50% off if you ever decide to upgrade to a subscription. Just go to getcurable.com/positivehead to set up your free account. That's spelled GETCURABLE.com/positivehead.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's going to be different for everyone. And you got to start with where you are. You know, maybe it's playing with your dog. Maybe it's cuddling with your kids. Maybe it's calling a friend. Maybe it's, you know, just sitting and staring off into space, whatever it is. Focus on what makes you happy. You know, you hear it all the time. And yet it's something that so many of us don't do, especially when times are hard, especially when we're in an argument or something feels like it's falling apart or your body's hurting or there's something going on. It's so easy to focus on the pain and the problem, but it's also
almost hard
really
not
easy.
to.
It's almost hard not to. And
Yeah.
It's actually easier and more fun and feels better to focus on the things that make you feel good. And then addition, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And all of a sudden, the more and more things that you're focusing on and that you're integrating into your life, that's what you become.
Right. Right. Exactly. And, you know, we all know that where our attention goes, our energy flows. And so if we're focusing all the time on what is wrong, then that's all we're going to see. And we're just going to feel bad all the time. But if we can remember all the things that are amazing in our life, all the things to be grateful for. And if you have a hard time mustering it up, if like it's a really shitty day, then maybe it's, I have clean air to breathe and I have water to drink and I have a roof over my head. Simple things, clothes on my back, you know, whatever that simple thing may be to be grateful for, it's going to help to turn that frown upside down. I can't believe I said that out loud, but that's what came to mind.
All right, positive heads, you just go turn that frown upside down, all right, with your gratitude and your joy and your bliss. I love it. I'm not making fun of anyone there. I hope no one's offended by that. I love that. I love y'all. I wish Canadians said y'all more. I'm just going to throw that out there because that brings me joy. So yes, Erica, thank you for nailing it. Gratitude and happiness are intricately connected. They are soulmates. They're partners. They go hand in hand. And so being grateful for the things you have allows you to attract more things to be grateful for. And then again, that amplifies. And it's this momentum train that you get to create inside of your personal vortex, which then extends out into the collective vortex. And that's what we need. So thank you for taking part in bettering the planet.
Yeah, we are all connected. That's one of the things we were actually thinking about talking about today. But it's definitely something that is worth a daily reminder that there is not a single one of us on this planet that is not connected, that is not breathing the same air. Whether you're in Africa, in England, in California, you're all breathing the same air. I was just telling Samantha, and I think she watched one of these shows, but this show on Netflix called Connected. And one of the shows was about the dust in the Sahara Desert, which is basically dead, dried up algae from thousands and thousands of years ago when it used to be filled with water. Well, that algae then turns into dust, goes out into the air, and goes to the Amazon, goes into the Gulf. And that dust, it depends if there's a hurricane coming, the amount of dust will either decrease the strength or increase the strength of the storm. Like having the more dust, the less severe the storm. And if the Amazon did not get the dust from the Sahara, it wouldn't have enough phosphorus in its soil for all its plants. How about that?
Mind blown. I love that show, Connected. It really does show just how connected, not just we are as humans, but intricately connected to
the entire
everything.
planet and
from the birds
everything.
to the plants, to the water, to the sand, to the dust, to the dead algae. Like it's all one.
All of it. There is not a single part of it that is not you and me and all of us. And yeah, that is a really good thing to remember every single day in all of your thoughts and all of your actions and all of your words, all of your deeds. Everything you do, think, say is affecting the whole. So yeah, let's be happy. Let's be happy for everyone in this whole, for Mother Gaia, for all her creatures, and for all of us. Let's do it for each other. If we can't do it for ourselves, right? Good deal, Samantha. I think that is it for us today. I thank you so much for joining me. I thank you all for being here with us. And we're going to leave you with a song by Yaima today called Follow the Heart. Until next time, everyone. Love you all.
We love you.
Also, before we cue up today's song, I wanted to remind you about the game with the universe on our website, where you can choose the first number that comes to your mind and it'll pull up that episode number of the podcast. I've been saying this is a great way to co-create synchronicity and magic with your higher self for quite some time. And if you go to positivehead.com/universe, there is a super fun and simple interface to play this game with your higher self. I firmly believe just by setting the intention to play in this way, it opens up the door for magic, and it's a synchronistic way to hone in on nuggets of wisdom out of the huge catalog of episodes that are specifically appropriate for you at this time in your journey to becoming the next greatest and greatest version of yourself. And it also makes for a super fun way to spark the curiosity of friends and family by having them choose a number, so they'll hopefully go and check out their number as well, which I greatly appreciate because it helps us to spread the word about the podcast. Once again, the address is positivehead.com/universe. And as a quick reminder, if you're curious to learn more about Purium superfoods and why I take them almost every day, be sure to also check out positivehead.com/transformation. On this journey of becoming the next greatest and grandest version of ourselves that we have all embarked upon, I cannot stress the importance of managing your physical vibration enough. And quite honestly, Purium has put together the simplest plan I've found to do so. I have my favorite, the appleberry shake, at least 5 times a week. Once again, to learn more about the Purium transformation, go to positivehead.com/transformation. Or if you want to keep it simple and just try out my favorite, the appleberry shake, you can go straight over to ishoppurium.com and be sure to use code positivehead for 25% off. I'll spell that for you. It's ishoppurium.com. And be sure to use your Positive Head 25% coupon code.